Good morning. Let's do sports now on the AM show with me, Muftawu Nabila Abdullah. And on Tuesday, one of Right to Dream products, Kamaldeen Suleimana, completed a transfer from the French League outside Rennes to English Premier League side Southampton. One man who has known Kamaldeen since he was 12 years old is Masud Dramani. He says the boy will succeed in the Premier League.
Kamaldeen has social intelligence, and which is a value from his upbringing in Right to Dream. It's a strong value. His self-discipline in terms of what he has to do on and off the pitch. As I said, but he's very self-expressive in terms of his thoughts, but he's very, very detailed in terms of his convictions. You know, you need to really convince him and then win his trust, and then he dies with you, and he says it as he sees it, and then he's easily well convinced when you are very technical in terms of the information you give him, or where you are very detailed in terms of relating, relevant information to him. And so it's not too easy to go. He's more detailed and then very expressive of his thoughts. And so I know he knows the stage. He knows what comes out. I saw him do that with the A national team when he was on the bench, and then he comes on from the bench, and then he makes a difference. Every professional has the opportunity to succeed in every environment. It is all about how strong you are mentally, how you are able to integrate it and adapt. And his development has come up from this moment. He's a continuously been educated person. He's been educated in terms of how he needs to understand his physical person. His quickness also has given him a lot of things to learn around his own frame, in terms of how he has to consistently support himself in terms of his physical well-being. And then tactically, he's been well transited into different phases of play and then the game. And so I think that he appreciates these aspects, and then he will be well managed by respective coaches, in different phases of the game. And then you saw what he did in the game against Uruguay when he could see defensive spaces and then be able to do a good defensive recovery into that moment, and very few players can see these aspects.
Few players can do that, and hopefully Kamaldeen will succeed in the Premier League, as Didi Dramani has said. Let's do Ghana Premier League news. And on Wednesday, there were many Premier League matches. Hasselhoff were held to a goalless draw by 10-man Legon Cities at the Accra Sports Stadium. And these are the full results of match day 15 in the Ghana Premier League. King Faisal, they sat at home and lost 3-2 to Midiama SC. Accra Hasselhoff, just as I mentioned, drew 0-0 against Legon Cities. Kotoku Royals won 3-2 against Bibiani Gold Stars. In Swatruman, 1-2-1 against Brekum Chelsea. Samatex drew 0-0 against Tamale City. Bechem United and Real Tamale United produced 8 goals as that game ended 6-2 in favor of Bechem, whilst Dreams FC sat at the Theatre of Dreams and suffered 1-0 loss to league leaders Aduana Star. This means that Aduana have 28 points in the Ghana Premier League. Today, Thursday, Accra Lions will host Great Olympics at the Accra Sports Stadium, whilst Kerala United will host Asante Kotoko at the Camp Park in the Inase. Now let's do athletics. National long jump record holder Deborah Aqua has described her qualification to the 2023 World Athletics Championships as one she never expected to happen. But with that jump of 6.94 meters at the Commonwealth Games held in Birmingham last year, it was enough to see her through based on the official entry standards by World Athletics. She's been speaking exclusively to Joy Sports, George Adojina.
Did it come to you as a surprise anyway?
So after the Commonwealth Games, I was made to understand that this might be it for this season too. So it wasn't really a surprise. it wasn't really a surprise. But then after Commonwealth Games, I never heard anything about that anymore. So I was just here until I logged into Twitter, and then I saw you post, and I was like, yeah, so that's so true. So yeah.
So the celebration was minimal because
No, yeah.
But what was there any relief? Like qualification is, normally no matter how great you are, you still want to get to qualify. So once that when you know you're qualified, what was the relief like?
Okay, so in terms of like knowing
that it's actually had been announced, yeah.
All right. So like I said, I was kind of having a little problem with my immigration stuff. And then I got to sort all that out. And before that, I was kind of like off training, like I was on and off, because it was between knowing if I'll be able to travel or I'll just be here, like not knowing when I'll be good, when I'll be able to solve this immigration stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I was kind of on and off training, because if I'm not able to sort that out, then what am I training for? So yeah, I was kind of on and off. So in my first competition, the jump wasn't really what I was expecting though, but it happened. So
yeah. And how does that then shape the rest of the season for you? Because now what most athletes will be doing is trying to qualify for the big competition, which is happening in August. Now you have already qualified. I know you've got a pretty tight schedule, but mentally, how are you approaching all of these?
It's a relief, because I don't know how this whole thing is gonna bother me and how it's gonna prevent me from maybe doing the best that I'm supposed to be doing. So it's really a relief that I've already qualified. So all I have to do is just maintain my strength and get to.
Deborah joins Ghana's quartet that has already qualified to the World Athletics by virtue of the performances we witnessed during the World Athletics Championships in Oregon last year. Meanwhile, President of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, Kobena Eboa, is advocating a development program to help athletes prepare adequately for competitions. Speaking at the 47th SWAC Awards ceremony, he called on government to expedite work for the Africa Games.
This year, Ghana is scheduled to host the Africa Games. 7 months to the scheduled start, our infrastructure is far from ready. More worryingly, our federations are not doing much in terms of preparation, as most of them lack the needed funding. In fact, we're running out of time, and unless the African Union acquiesces to our request for the postponement of Africa's premier multi-sport competition, we may confront a national disgrace. The time for the government to act is now. In the year under review, Ghana participated in the 22nd Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, the United Kingdom. We managed a paltry 2 silver medals and 3 medals, bronze. For us at SWAC, we convinced Ghana could have done better if a little more attention was devoted to the so-called lesser-known sports. The practice often has been to promise our athletes luscious bonuses and incentives few days before such events. This we find rather inappropriate and duplicitous. A more appropriate path would be to develop, in the medium term, a 4-year development program that ensures our athletes are given more competitions, more qualifiers, sound healthcare, dieting, and more modern equipment for their training and competitions. His Royal tennis courts, sports halls, and boxing gyms barely meet acceptable international standards. Our athletes continue to train under inhumane conditions. As the Africa Games or Olympic Games stare us in the next few months, we have no option but to upgrade our facilities to appreciable standards.